of the boy in an Eagles uniform and that, or kind of jersey kind of thing, so I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful you shared your story.
Thank you for all your generosity.
Wow.
Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go real quick. So, yes, I'm sitting here, when things happen, like I was telling Doug this morning, I was listening to a video about anti-lock brakes and why you shouldn't rely on anti-lock brakes. And this was in particular, this video I was listening to was about motorcycles. So we have this technology, but we also need to trust ourselves, and we need to be in alignment with what we know we can do. For example, the live stream dropped twice this morning, and I realized I think it's the USB adapter of the port is not working properly. In the beginning, I would have been crazy over this, right? But we do the best we can, and we listen to ourselves, our bodies, our minds, our spirit, and that makes the difference.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey folks, I'm asking for prayers, as many as I could get, for the second time in 7 months. A week ago Friday, I almost lost my daughter, and so I'll just take all the prayers I can get. Thank you.
And her name? Donna.
Thank you. I just want to say that I have so much gratitude for the Course of Love group, and we've just become so kind of tight-knit, like a little family. And now we are all, well, raise your hand if you're on the mountaintop right now. You'll know what that means. And I think we have all of us here who are on the mountaintop, except for my sister Wendy, who's in Massachusetts. She's joining us as well, virtually. So we are on the mountaintop right now, and we are doing 40 days and 40 nights. And the dedication of this group, and not just dedication, but excitement and joy and willingness, and it's contagious. And I'm hearing Reverend Teresa say that she was, reading a passage about Christ consciousness and how, it clicked in her even more. And then today is day 11, which is titled Christ consciousness. I call it a little crash course in Christ consciousness. So it's bleeding out into everything, and it's been beautiful. And I'm just so grateful to all of you here. And just so you know, you guys are all on the mountaintop with us. We've taken you. We've taken you.
Thank you.
I just want to ditto that. Being on the mountaintop, but not being on the mountaintop in this cold weather is super cool. It's great. And I want to now go do a retreat that I don't talk for 5 days.
I just wanted to share that I'm really happy that my husband Chip has some real talents in terms of home improvements, which I years ago never knew about and didn't even imagine. And he's able to fix things because he's staying calm and in the flow and open to guidance. And it's just a beautiful thing to see.
Thank you. That's so much amazing. Are you raising your hand? Is that your hand raised? Okay.
I have been overcome with gratitude and unconditional love from the birth of my first great-grandchild.
Wow.
And it's amazing how I'm overcome with unconditional love.
Thank you. See that? We have family, we have love, we have generosity. It just keeps going and going and going. We are all so blessed. Let's just drop into our heart and say, thank you, God. So now I'm going to go right into the God vibration, and then Nancy's going to come up and do the meditation and the talk. So we do this God vibration to raise our vibration, right? So that we're in that vibration of which is the vibration of creation. And all we do is say the word God 3 times, but we hold the sound. So it's challenging for me because I don't have that kind of a voice, and without Kenneth here, but I'm going to stretch and just, everybody take a breath. God.
So it's got security on it. Okay. Technology, our friend and also our teacher and also our confuser. So let's settle in for meditation. I have my little notes here because I have so many things to share. So just taking a moment now to begin to drop inside. And I invite you to travel deep down to that place in you that is your natural home base, your natural landing place. It's a place where there is a steadiness that is never disturbed, where there is also a deep, abiding quiet that is also never disturbed. It is your internal place of refuge. It is also the place from which your light arises and emerges into your entire body-mind being. The light of spirit, the light of your unique expression, one of a kind in this world. Your light arises, it flows throughout your body-mind, touching every aspect of your being. And then it begins to flow out and touch the world around you. So take a moment to imagine or sense your light, your living light of the sacred. A light that is in absolutely everything. And notice the experience of how your light radiates. Radiating out to touch everything. Your light is the source, the deep nourishment for your expression. It is your presence as spirit. And the radiating presence you offer to our world matters. Notice how it feels to recognize there is nothing that isn't, at its core, this light. In the underlying reality of oneness, there is actually only light. And we are part of that sacred source, that sacred expression. In quantum thinking, there is the idea of entanglement, that everything is connected without exception. So what would happen if you imagined something I heard someone say recently? Imagine the farthest star you have ever seen in a night sky. And imagine that your light also touches that star. Our light touches everything, and everything touches us. Just take a few moments now to be your light. And notice what it's like to just be present to the fact that everything is at its source the same light. The light of spirit finding its way into this material realm. And notice what it would be like if you were able to make this internal source, this internal presence of the sacred, your ongoing touchstone. A place you can return to again and again. That your internal home base is a place of refuge, and the light is a source of support, inspiration, and presence. One of the kinds of service we can offer our world every day is to remember that we radiate light, first and foremost. And just notice that fact of being. We are light first. And we can offer our light to the world. Just notice, as we get ready to close this meditation, the resonating tone of your experience. Because in recent research, it has been demonstrated that our physical body responds to what our consciousness is doing. So when we imagine the light that we are, it touches all the array of the community of beings who are our bodies. Remembering that we are light also touches our emotional experience as well as our thoughts. So just begin to gently come back now, continuing to notice that even when you come out here, you are radiating light throughout your whole being all the time. All the time. And it makes a difference to your world and to your own experience. So come on all the way back, and if I heard correctly, I'm going to start talking more. Is that right? Okay. All right. Well, I've done a number of, I think, talks here about frequencies, the importance of frequencies. And think of frequencies as the quality, the tone of what you're thinking, feeling, doing. So since today it was a theme of our thoughts are creative acts, I've got all kinds of stuff to share about what that might mean to us just in a daily way of moving through the world. There's been a lot of interesting research lately that really and truly demonstrates our thoughts aren't just up here. Our thoughts move through our whole being. I was so intrigued to find the recent research that when we think negative thoughts to our body, that's having a health effect on the body. And when we think positive thoughts toward our body, it supports our immune system. There's a whole array of physical benefit. So one of the things I want to say at the beginning of a talk about thoughts is it's really important to meet ourselves with deep compassion, because we know that monkey mind and it can run away with us, and we don't want to be in a critical relationship as we think about our thoughts and the impact that our thoughts have on the reality we're experiencing. And I want to bring in one other complexity here that we didn't used to know about or even think about, which is there are people in the quantum realm, and probably the really, really deep researchers may or may not agree with what I'm about to say, but for people who roam around in the quantum ideas and the quantum world, is the concept that the quality and tone of our thinking, our consciousness, is orienting us to the quality and tone of particular probabilities. And I heard someone say that we are shifting probabilities all the time, we just don't know it, based on the quality or tone of what we're emitting and attracting to ourselves. I don't think that means we create every moment of our reality, but what it meant to me was, oh, if I have a day when I'm bumping into everything, I'm probably going to go out into the world and be bumping into everything. That might just be the quality and tone of what might happen. And one of the teachers I have classes with, David Spangler, had asked us to go out and just choose the frequency we're going to emanate that day. And one day I decided, okay, if I'm really light, I'm going to go out today and just emanate light. What the heck? I have to make this long schlep across Central Park, then I got to make the whole schlep back. I think I'll just be radiating light as I do that. And it was a very, very interesting day. I had experiences that weren't exactly like I always have. One was in the bank where I had to get some money, and I walked up to the ATM machine, and it was talking, and I thought, well, this is a new experience. And it was saying, please take your cash. Please take your cash. I thought, okay, this is really unusual. But the cash drawer was open, and there was money in it. So I took the money out, and I thought, I'm going to finish my thing, and then I'll go to the manager of the bank. And I went to the manager of the bank, and I said, could you take this money? Because someone is going to be really freaked out, and they're going to be coming back. And she said, no, we're not allowed to take money, so you give me your name, your phone number, and the amount you have in your hand right there, and we'll have the person call you. Okay, fine. It was $380. Wow. So I gave her all that information, and I was just walking out of the bank, and she called my name, and I went back in, and she said, how much was that? And I said, $380. She said, it's his. So I gave this man the money. We walked out together. And he started bemoaning the fact he was 63 and retired, and he was so depressed. Well, I informed him I was significantly older than 63. And I said, I want to tell you that every decade gets better and better. Please keep that in mind. And he said, really? I said, yes, I'm living proof. This is every decade gets better. So we were walking toward 3rd Avenue, and a woman must have been in the bank. She walked up between us, and she said to me, did I hear you say you gave money back to him? And it was $380? And I said, yes. And she said, you gave it back to him? I said, of course I gave it back to him. How could I be comfortable taking somebody else's money? And he said, yeah, boy, what a relief. And he took off in another direction. And just before I was crossing the street, she said, wow, I really needed this today. Thank you for an inspiring story. And I thought, okay, here's a synchronistic event that has now touched a number of people out of the blue. And I thought, there might be something to this radiating light as you go around in your everyday life. And that has reinforced my feeling that, okay, this is good magic. This is the kind of thing you want to be doing, because it's setting a frequency that is somehow drawing a probability that might be really unlikely, because I would never have imagined that those things could be happening. So I invite you to experiment with this. Track the quality of your self-talk, and then say, okay, with this self-talk, what frequency am I emanating right now? What quality of reality am I calling into my particular world in this moment with this frequency that I'm doing? One of the things I want to really underscore, this idea of not being critical when we look at our thoughts and how they're functioning. There's a person in my profession, Janina Fisher, who does a lot of teaching about trauma and this and that. And she introduced, or really reinforced, and I love it, the idea of the noticing brain. Now, many of us have learned that as the observer, but the observer implies there could be an evaluation going on, so I'm not fond of that word. But the noticing brain, what's very cool about the noticing brain is as soon as you come into awareness, that brain, its presence goes right down to your amygdala, the place where we get all hot and bothered about things, and starts calming it just by bringing awareness. So when you're tracking your self-talk, really important to be in a compassionate, noticing awareness, not being on yourself. For the other day, this is a really dumb thing that I am about to share. The other day, one of the new kittens knocked over a dry cat food container. That's their special stuff after they eat their canned food. And it fell into the water fountain of the cats, right? Now, you would not necessarily expect that that would result in unremitting crying, would you? No, probably not. It's dry cat food dropping into a water fountain. But I realized I had a bandwidth about this big just because of what's going on in the world. And I thought, Nancy, I just had to say, listen, this is probably not the dry cat food. Let's go sit at the computer for a minute or two and do some journaling and see actually what are you crying about. And I realized I was grieving. I was just, my little bandwidth was really narrow, and after I could figure out what it was, I went and cleaned up the dry cat food. I cleaned out the, no big deal. But it took that compassionate presence to not go off into a whole other thing that would have caused a lot more problem and distress. So it's how, as you're realizing how important your thoughts are, about what frequencies they emanate, what you're expecting from life, what probabilities you're engaging, really crucial to have a deeply friendly, loving relationship with yourself. Because it will never help to start beating yourself up for having stupid stuff. When I looked at the cat food in that thing and started crying, part of me way back there was going, what is this? But it wasn't, what kind of idiot are you? It was, oh, something must be going on. So approach yourself with compassion, because our thoughts really are significant in how they're shaping what we're experiencing in any given moment. And it's like giving yourself a break. Just assuming that you're not doing something like off the wall, but you're having an experience and a response. So one of the things that's useful is when you can get hold of being aware of your self-talk. By the way, in my neck of the woods, self-talk is self-hypnosis. So it's useful to remember that when we're doing self-talk, we're programming ourselves. Quite deeply, actually. Especially if we have some emotional load on what we're saying to ourselves. So, since self-talk is self-hypnosis, I will often ask people I'm working with, okay, so what words would help right now? And I think it's very important for us to find our own words that would help because we'll believe them more. Sometimes we need to have a word or two that accompanies us that can pull us out of a hard moment. So take a moment just to think about, if I'm in a tight place, what are the words that I already do or that I can draw on that actually help hold me or lift me up or help me move a little bit away from what's got hold of me? Just to see, for you personally, what word or words actually make a difference. And if you don't find those today, just play with this and see, because your body will tell you the right words. When we say to ourselves words that are right for us in that moment, everything settles. We calm down, and because we're in a friendly environment. We want our internal world to be a friendly environment, a place where we can be vulnerable and explore without having to know exactly what's going to be right, trying things on for size. One other way to shift from self-talk that's taking you down to freeing up to be more in the present is gratitude practice. And I know I shared this with you guys probably last time I was here, where my sister and I were on vacation, and I had an injured knee, and I wasn't moving around very much. And on the last day of our vacation, I woke up, and Carol was down on the beach having a walk. Well, I went into only a Scorpio could probably go into the pity party I generated. It was excellent. After about a couple of minutes, I thought, do you really want your last day of vacation to be this way? And do you really want Carol to walk into this? No, probably not. It took 10 solid minutes of gratitude practice, but that did shift things. Another thing I found helpful when I was getting caught in something was to read a book I was really interested in. Just a couple of pages, popped into my Kindle and felt slowly, because what we're really talking about is shifting frequencies. They're not set in stone. All the frequencies are available to us. It's just how to orient ourselves to be able to get hold of them. So gratitude practice, I am a great fan of journal writing. Whatever you do to process yourself, if it's not clear, give yourself 5 or 10 minutes just to be with, what is this actually that's got me cooking, so that you can arrive at it's like in somatic experiencing that I use in my practice, it's like we go up, there's the activation, and then what do we do to bring it back? And so you want to find your particular way when your self-talk is running around like a galloping horse, how to hit that peak and then have some strategies to come down again. I've probably already done this a million times. In the SE community, Peter Levine, who created somatic experiencing, uses a very seems odd, it actually now goes very well with research, but it looked odd when he did it years ago. There's a sound he invites people to make in order to bring this down. We now know that when you're making sounds, you are activating or exercising the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is the primary parasympathetic nerve in your body. Really good to become friends with your vagus nerve. So vocalizing is one of the things that helps with that. But what Peter does, so I'm going to do this and then I'm going to ask you to do it. It's called VOO. That's all. It's just called VOO. And all you do with a VOO is this. You do it till your breath runs out. Take a natural next breath, and you do it usually 3 times. But what it's doing is it's ramping down the activation that might be coming from scary thoughts or a scary situation. It's a way to hit that peak of and find your way back down. So let's just do one. But let me ask you just to try one VU. But what I want to invite you to notice how when you do it, you can feel the vibration of it down into your abdomen. And that's speaking to your parasympathetic system and also can calm thoughts because it's just everything kind of landing. Like in SE, we used to use as an example a snow globe, shake it like crazy and then watch all the little pieces of snow come down. It's that kind of settling that we're looking for if our thoughts have been running crazy. So let's just do one VU, see how it feels. I'll do it with you, but track your vocal cords and your abdomen just to see how it feels. Okay. Just ride it all the way out. Now, if you were doing this more seriously, you'd do it 3 times. However, there's one other piece of research I want to throw in here. Humming apparently generates nitric oxide, and nitric oxide is good for the brain and the heart. So what I now do is after I do my 3 morning VUs, I hum 3 times. Just for the heck of it. With an aging brain, why not? So I do that along with doing the VU. This is all maintenance for your body-mind that makes it easier to be present to your thinking, to be aware of the frequencies your thinking is generating, and gently come back to where you want to be, to the frequencies you're choosing. So the idea that our thoughts create our reality, they certainly create the quality of our reality. And from a quantum perspective, they intersect with probability. There was a doctor on an interview program I watched called Buddha at the Gas Pump, and this doctor had 20 years of hearing people's near-death experiences. I figured he must have worked in the ICU or the emergency room because he had so many people having near-death experiences. And he said one of the things a lot of the people said was that during their life review, what was underscored for them was the importance of the choices they made day to day. Now, it didn't mean just enormous choices. He was saying, things like opening the door for someone, smiling at someone on the street, but also our life choices. And I think that's so important because choices are intentions, and intentions intersect with probability. Our intentions are really significant, and that's another way we can track our thoughts. What am I calling to me right now? What am I offering? Now, here's the other thing, though. Tracking your thoughts and helping to decide where you want them does not mean overlooking and not acting about things that are upsetting or distressing. This is not a let me get out of here kind of thing. So you want to always honor wholeness and leave nothing out, but choose how to be present to what you feel needs your action of whatever kind. So we're not saying forget things that are upsetting. It's how to be with them, how to move through upsetting or distressing feelings. So let me see what else I had to say about this before I wrap up. I'm looking at the clock. Thank you for the clock. So grateful to have a clock finally to look at. That is really great. So the piece to put with all this that is the theme of this year, which is really fabulous, is to remember the light in you. And one thing I think has become difficult, but I really want to underscore this. If you buy into oneness, there is no other ever. Under any circumstances, no matter what is happening, if you buy oneness, there isn't anything other or outside. That, for me, makes frequencies all the more important, and the tone of our thinking all the more important about where we want to resonate and live in terms of quality of our experience and our inner life. Everything is light. If you buy that everything is one thing, we're it. And there isn't any other place, there isn't any other being. Every single thing is light in form. And just to notice how it is to really let that in as you move through the world and don't agree with people or want to change things, that's fine, but they're not an other. They're not outside the sacred that everything is. So on that note, I'll stop ranting and say, have a great day.
He turned off, yeah.
Thank you. That was beautiful. So this is the time of our offering. And I also forgot to mention at the beginning of the service that we have a prayer chaplain. Our prayer chaplain today is Karen. So if anybody would like to pray with her after service, she'll be holding sacred space back there for a little bit if you want to do some one-on-one prayers. But our time of offering is an opportunity to give to this spiritual co-op that we have, that we come to every week to raise our vibration, to remember our oneness, to remember who we are. So take this time to give if you don't give regularly, or if you're out there watching us, you can go to our website. There's a QR code on our bulletin that you can give to. There's give by text. We have lots of ways, and we also have somebody who's going to go around with a basket if you actually have hard, cold cash that you want to give. We welcome all of it. We are so blessed for each and every one of you. And remember, when you give here, you're not giving to the church, you're giving to yourself. It's a place that you can count on coming back to over and over again. But before we go on, I'm going to have Betsy come up and share something that we're going to be doing in the very near future. And then we'll do our prayer and do the offering, right? Okay? What is it? Zoom. Hey, everybody. So if you joined last week's special snow day service on Zoom, you heard Arlene talk about a new program that we're introducing this year, which is the Unexpected Income Tithe program. And the idea is we're really going to take this time to notice our abundance. The universe is continually giving us things, right? And so we want to take notice of it and become aware of it. So the idea is if you receive some unexpected income, maybe a gift from Aunt Marge, and she gives you $5, let's say $10, that's easier math for me. You'll take $1, and you're going to put it aside. I have like a little envelope that I've created here that I'm going to kind of mark during the week, the unexpected income. And then we have little colored envelopes in your chairs. And each week you're going to add that amount to the colored envelope so we can keep it separate. And we can count and track our abundance. So I'm going to give you an example, a real life example. So my mom did not like the quality of the toilet paper that we bought. So she called Kimberly Clark and complained. And they sent her a check for $17, which she then passed on to me as a little gift, okay? So I took $1.70 and I put it in this envelope, okay? Hold that, please. Take that, I'm going to put it in my blue envelope, and when I pass those bags around, I'm going to put this in there so that I can, when we count the money, we can track it. At the end of the year, we're going to see how we did and see how our abundance has grown and expanded. So are you guys willing to play?
Yeah.
Yeah? Kevin? Kevin?
Can I give an example?
Come on up.
I returned something at Walmart and they scanned an extra card on it. So it was an extra $7.
Nice.
So it's an additional 25. So I'm gonna put that into it. So yeah. She's like, oh, it's too much just to take it off, so just keep it. And I was like, yes, $7.
All right.
Just for inspiration. So I was on my Optimum account the other day and I noticed I'm gonna get a $10 credit every month if I change it to my ACH, to my bank account. So $10 every month, so $1 every month goes to Unity.
All right. And if you decide you don't want to use little color envelopes and you'd rather do it online, we do have a designated fund. It says, yes, Unexpected Income Fund. So.
At the end of next year, you're gonna just say how much collectively.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
That's fun.
All right. Let's do it. Here.
Why are you not doing like the full amount? Why are you just
We're doing 10%.
10%.
10% like a tithe.
That's the
Oh,
tithe.
tithe?
A tithe, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Just when you do your purple envelope, don't forget to put your name on the purple envelope.
But nothing's stopping you from giving.
Nancy's doing your full
You're welcome.
So another example is Gabe and I got a rebate check for $200 for windows that we had put in. So there's $20 we'll have to put in the an envelope. Okay, dear Steve.
I was just thinking that one of the things I mentioned during the Zoom was that we could also donate our time. So, for example, when I think Arlene actually made this suggestion because I said, well, I had extra time because I didn't have to drive to the church when we had the online service. So I think maybe I would donate my time. And she said, and it doesn't have to be to Unity.
Right.
So last night we had an event, Stephen Olson was here, and I donated my time and recorded the event and shared that with him. So I think that there might be an interesting way for us to collect the number of hours that we donate so that we can show that prosperity as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So our prayer for abundance, divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is.
Why don't you sing a song, Reyes?
Or maybe let there be peace on
Was that our closing song?
it. Could be.
Well, what's the song we sing for the prosperity? I forget. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And so truly, I am blessed. We are blessed, and we are grateful for what we have received and all that we are giving. May this offering go out and multiply the consciousness of peace and love and infinite supply. For this and so much more, I am grateful. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. And today is birthday Sunday. So anybody that was born in January, we're celebrating January birthdays today. Come on up. Brian. Anybody else? Cliff? Brian and Cliff? Anybody else? We're going to do the unity blessing. We're going to wait for the candle to come.
Is that cake been there for a month?
No. She just brought it today.
Yeah, I'm going to stand up here for Diane.
Oh, yay! Diane, these blessings are coming to you.
Here we go. Whoa.
Okay. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. And so it is. Go ahead, blow the candle out. Yay! So I just want to take a moment to thank all of our volunteers. We've got Lee on sound, we've got Steve, of course, all on audio visual. We got a special thanks to Steve Burke who showed up today. Quick turnaround, thank you so much. For our Reverend Nancy Napier, thank you so much. Who greeted today? Who's our greeter? Gabe, thank you so much, Gabe. For Christina, late back there in hospitality. For our board member on duty, Betsy, right? And for our prayer chaplain, thank you so much. And for me, thank you. Anybody else? Anything else? I didn't forget anybody, did I? Oh, I said Steve Burke. Yes. That's the end. So let's end with our prayer for protection. Why don't we all stand up?
And then we'll sing Let There Be Peace on Earth, a cappella.
What are we singing?
Let there be peace on earth.
Okay, and Reyes is going to lead it.
That's right.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Da 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 da
let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So as you get ready to go on out into the world, remember your light and shine it all around.
Amen.